What a pleasure once again to join everyone for your monthly intuitive tarot reading for your sign. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also be sure to check out your moon, rising, and or Venus signs if need be. Now, on to your reading. Okay, my dear Capricorn, in the position of your present state of mind and or the present energies you are working with, we have the World card. So presently you are feeling as though you're at the completion of a long, very, very long journey. You could be taking a new step forward in regards to to your to your life, um, whether that be business wise. Um, I could even relate to emotional steps that you may be taking forward. You could be traveling at this point. You could even be celebrating the completion of a new project. All of these things fall under the category of this new project. But overall, you are feeling as though you have came to the completion of a new journey. And or you may feel as though you have completed some new phase in your life. Now, if you're unaware, I do suggest that you look up Saturn, the Saturn transit, because Saturn is actually the planet that rules your sign, and you do have Saturn transiting your sign at this current moment. So I will forewarn you that you still have about, I believe it's about another year and a half or so that you have to undergo this transit. I'm not 100% sure of the exact timeline, although I will look that up immediately following this recording, and I will also indicate this for you. I will indicate this for you on your monthly astrology recording that I will post hopefully by November 1st at the latest, although it should be up prior to that. So I do greatly suggest that you check that out. Now, in the position of what's crossing you, which is basically what can either help and or hinder you in this present position, you have the Death card, which is ruled by Scorpio. So what this is indicating to me is that recently you have undergone what you may feel as though you have undergone some sort of a transformation of sorts. Now, this could be the death of an old situation, or you could basically just be to the point in your life where as though you feel as though you would like to leave the past behind. This could also signify a rebirth of some sorts, which is totally understandable with that Saturn transiting your sign. And I will get into that a little more in depth on my astrology reading, so definitely check that out. It will be named Capricorn November 2018 Astrology Forecast. And in that video that I will post, I will definitely be sure to make it a point to I will make sure that I will get into that Saturn transit for you. If there's any of you out there that may be unaware of what the Saturn transit entails for your particular sign. In the position of your past, you do have the Chariot, which is represented by the sign of Cancer. So in the near past, you could have felt an aura of progress. You could have felt as though you were moving forward. You're rising above all things to reach your goal. This could also indicate that you may have had a career change of some sorts. I'm sorry. You could have been shifted into a direction that could have let you It could have kind of let you know exactly where you were headed in your career goals. In the near future, you have the Magician card, which is signified by the sign of Gemini. And this is basically letting me know that you do have everything that you need in the near future to make your visions and or your goals a reality. I really, really would like to let, touch on that to let you know that you do have everything that you need to make everything that you are envisioning your reality. You do have everything you need. You are undergoing at a period in time in which you are having a Saturn transit, in which things may appear, and remember it's all about the perception of things. Things may appear to be a little bit harder, but I can assure you, and you probably already know this being a Capricorn, but I can assure you that Saturn, once your Saturn transit is getting towards the end of your cycle, and I believe there is a year, maybe a year and a half left in this transit, once you get towards the end of this cycle, that you will receive the gifts and the fruits of your labor, and you will see that you do have everything that you need to make your dreams a reality. Just be sure to use your power for good because you do have a strong willpower to succeed in life and to make it. And I do see that in these cards. These cards are definitely indicating that. Now, under the section of your conscious goals or where your energy is being directed, your energy is being directed towards the Wheel of Fortune. And this is assuring you that you do have new opportunities. You may not be aware of it now, and I can promise you, you probably don't see it as of this point, as of November of 2018, but you do have new opportunities that are coming towards you. You also have prosperity and abundance. You have a cycle of some sort of a turning point and or a breakthrough that is coming through for you. And this will also be indicated in Jupiter transiting your sign, which will happen sometime next year, towards the end of 2019, in which you will also get the information in my astrology video for your sign. Now, under unconscious desires, you have the High Priestess. So at this time, you're being urged to definitely listen to your gut. I cannot stress that more than there's no way that I could possibly stress that more in depth than what I am speaking to you as of now. Your intuition is strong. I can promise you your intuition is very strong at this moment. I would strongly suggest that you listen to your intuition because whether you know it or not, your intuition is trying to help and speed you along this process without so many obstacles or flaws or setbacks, I guess you can say, in this period of time that you are going through your transit. I do see at this time you're trying to be strong. Your approach to things is that you're trying to be strong. You're trying to take charge of the situations that are coming into your life. You're mastering your fears and managing any anxieties that could possibly come through. Now, as far as your environment, I do see you actually have excellent cards in your environment. Um, you have the sun, and I clarified that with the Ten of Cups. So this is basically indicating that you're actually in a point in your life where you are experiencing a tremendous personal growth cycle. You are growing unbeknownst to you, at a rate that is that is phenomenal. Whether you know it or not, you do have a safe place to create. Your health is intact, even though you may feel as though you have all of these things coming at you. But you do have a sense of completion that is following you, a sense of joy, a sense of being at peace, because this is a transit that is hard for any sign that it may transit, although the exception with you is that this is your ruling planet. So therefore, this is a familiar energy to you. So that's probably the reason why you have these cards in this particular position. Now, your advice is to remain sharp at this time. Your mind is very powerful. Remain logical. You are very wise and intellectual. So I would suggest for your advice that you, using your intuition, that you put that powerful mind of yours into play and to basically overcome any and or all of the obstacles that may come your way at this particular time. You have an absolutely excellent card in the outcome position, which is the Eight of Pentacles. And you may or may not know, but the Pentacles represent the earth signs, which you are one of the earth signs. It's all about what you can produce and or bring to the forefront in our real world or society. This is a card indicating that you will absolutely be productive. You will be satisfied with your work. You could possibly be learning a new skill at this time. You're very disciplined and attentive to any detail that needs to go into any project and or financial or business matter. Now, I do take a look at the cards that fly out, and I put them to the side. And I also take a look at I'm sorry, I made that plural. I take a look at the card that is on the bottom of the deck, and at the bottom of the deck you have the Hermit. So this is indicating to me that for the month of November, you may need to take time for yourself to kind of work through some of the things that are going on in your life. You may be kind of confused and or kind of just questioning everything at this point in your life as far as what may be going on and what's happening with you and people surrounding you. This card is telling you to take a methodical approach in any and everything that you do in the month of November, to do your research. If you have to go in for some deep spiritual reason, definitely go in deep to get that knowledge and or understanding, because you are guaranteed success no matter what. And you will be successful, I promise you. If you stand fast and hold tight to this wave that you may be undergoing and just ride the wave, go with the flow, and I promise you that at the end of it all, your cards are indicating that you will make it through. I'm not saying this to say that this will be easier, because this is this, the big Saturn transit that everyone goes through once every 28 years or so, and everyone has a really, really hard time. But the exception with you, Capricorns, my lovely Capricorns, is that this is the sign that rules you, so it may be somewhat familiar to you. So I'm not saying that this would be a transit that would be a little bit easier for your sign, if you can understand where I'm coming from. what I am saying is that you you will be able to navigate through this transit. You will still go through the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, the mountains that you have to climb. You will still go through that. But at the end of this transit, I promise you, you will see the fruits of your labor. And Saturn always has a way of rewarding you for all of the hard work that you put into accomplishing your goals and making things happen during this transit. So I highly suggest that since Saturn is transiting your sign at this moment, that you check out my video so that you can understand a little bit more. If you are unaware of any planets and how they may affect you, you will be better equipped to navigate this Saturn return in your very own sign. Now, the cards that flew out to me, starting with the Three of Fire, this is letting me know that you are staying committed to where you are at this point in life. So you're staying committed to your goals, to whatever you have envisioned that you would like to come to the forefront, to whatever you're trying to produce. You are staying committed to these things. You are going to accomplish your goals because you know how to accomplish them and you know how to plan ahead. Now, as a reminder, I want you to know that at this time, this would be a good time to practice the art of balancing things. Balancing. What I mean by that is balancing things. If you have a lot going on, if you are trying to work really hard to accomplish a goal, but you have a family, for instance, that will actually be an excellent example. Finding that way to balance work and home/family life is going to be very important to you at this time, is what I'm saying. Combining things with knowledge and awareness. You're going to skillfully handle things to make possibly to make your goals that you have, to make them come to fruition. I do see you brainstorming and testing ideas. There could be some slight competition. As with any Saturn transit, there are going to be several things that might take place. There might be some slight competition and or conflict that you could experience within the next year's time. And this is just me forecasting a year out, only because I know this is a monthly reading, but I'm only doing this because I do understand the Saturn transit, and I understand that Saturn is in your sign. So kind of trying to forecast a little bit for those of you who may not get the chance to get to my astrology video for your sign of Capricorn for this month. But I do see you brainstorming and testing out ideas and things of that nature. But there could possibly be an offer that you may be refusing. Now, I don't know if this offer, because this came up in your cards as well, I don't know if this offer is business related or love related, but there is something that you're not seeing at this moment. And this could be due to the transit. It could be very well due to it. I totally understand if it is, because I would be the exact same way. You could basically be seeing that particular offer, or you could be seeing this point of time, or you could be seeing something that someone is trying to give you as being as the glass being half empty rather than seeing it being half full. If you get the gist of what I'm saying on that one. Now, there were a couple more cards that flew out. And these cards were the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. These are all cards indicating your sign, the earth signs. The pentacles are the earth signs, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. Now, I do see you being fruitful, very, very fruitful at this time. Although I see you being fruitful, very abundant, you may be reaching into your bag to grab that extra creative spark because you feel as though you need it at this time. Although I will warn with this card always indicates a possible pregnancy, and this is forecasting a year out. So from this point that you're listening to this audio up until 12 months from now. So this is November of 2018, so up until November of 2019. I would definitely be careful of pregnancy. You also have the Knight of Pentacles. This could represent you, yourself. This could represent another person in your life that shares the Pentacle / Earth demeanor. This could be another Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo in your life, bringing something to you that is related to business and or finance, some sort of a project or a goal or something of that nature. They could just be mentioning something of that nature. Now, the Knights are usually a fast moving card. So with that, I would suggest that you definitely look into things. This is a very, very fast-moving card, so this could possibly indicate a trait that a person has. This person could be very business-oriented. And again, I am reluctant to say that I believe this is you represented in this card. This is the way you are coming across to other people at this time as the Knight of Pentacles. A very fast-moving, and I know that is probably contradictory to the Pentacle signs. Usually the Pentacle signs, the Earth signs, are very slow-moving, and they work in a very methodical way towards their goal. But at this time, since you're undergoing this transit, you are moving pretty fast to achieve these goals and to carry out these activities or achievements related to business and or finance. Although you're doing that, you are holding on very, very tight to your resources. I do see that. You have the death grip on your resources, and I do see you creating budgets and or new financial plans for the future, which would be extremely wise to do during this transit of your Saturn return in your second house, the second house of your self-worth and finance. So I totally understand that. Now, I know this video was a little long, although if this resonated with you, I ask that you please comment in the comment section and let me know if this message resonated with you at this particular time, and to like as well as subscribe to my channel. That will be greatly appreciated, and I highly suggest that you check out my Capricorn November 2018 astrology reading, in which you will see pop up underneath your timeline for YouTube if you subscribe to this channel, since you are undergoing this Saturn transit at this time. To learn a little bit more about this transit, if you're unaware of it, and to help you navigate through this as well, to make this transit go as smoothly as possible. Although my special message to you, my dear Capricorns, is to remember that at the end of this transit, which will be the end of It will either be between a year and a year and a half from now. I don't have the exact dates in front of me because I am doing the tarot readings, the intuitive tarot readings at this moment. But I will have all of that information in front of me for the astrology video where I can give you exact dates dealing with the Western astrology for the United States to give you exact dates of when this transit will be over and no longer affecting you. That information will be available on the astrology video for your sign. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a blessed day and don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you soon.